We're about to have a conversation here in a second with an anti-Andrew Tate guy.
Yeah, and you mentioned you're
And
a gay guy. I initially was kinda like, I don't get it with him, but now he's warmed up. I like Tate, I really do.
I am definitely a Tate guy. I think he's fantastic. Let me pull up this guy's page. His name is Gadgets. And what's interesting is I'm glad that he's coming on because a lot of people that disagree with us won't come on. You know, a
True.
lot a lot of people, they're too pussy to show up.
Yeah.
But apparently Gadgets is not a pussy. Apparently this guy is willing to get into the mud and potentially talk to some people that are pro Tate other than myself, because the honest to God truth is, guys, I have no idea. I don't know a whole lot. I don't know a whole lot about Tate.
It's like that phone call. You were like, "Yeah, did you hear what happened to Tate?" And I was like, "No, I don't know. What happened?" And you're like, "I have no idea."
Yeah, I still really don't. I still don't really have a fucking clue what's going on. I know that he's being falsely accused. And
Yeah.
and I know that there's he's got these bitches coming at him, but it sounds to me like it's a total fucking farce, a total sham. I've got a clip here actually from one of the girls walking
Play it.
inside. Yeah, I'll play it. This is from Tate Updates. Says woman listed as victim in the Tate case says she is not a victim of. She is a victim of DCOT, which I guess is like it's some like Romanian agency. I guess it's like their FBI or something.
Is that what that is?
I think so. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. She says DCOT has labeled her as a human trafficking victim and it haunts her every day. Quote, the Tates were always kind to me and helped me whenever I needed anything. And this is her clip.
Excuse me, are you one of the alleged Tate victims?
Yeah, I was listed as a victim, and the court wants me to claim that I'm a victim, even though I told them more than once that I'm not one. Tristan and Andrew were always very kind to me. They helped me many times, and this is absurd. It's unreal how far corruption can go when there is money involved, and this is not normal. I really hope the justice will be made correctly, and these men will get to live the life they deserve. To be honest, I'm feeling more of a victim of DCOT because they are making me look like a human trafficking victim, and I don't want to be pictured like that.
So that's very interesting, right? I mean, you're being labeled as a human trafficker, but all the girls are saying that you're not.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't fucking know, man.
Apparently, apparently two of the accusers are baby mamas.
Yeah, and then it's like, look, I mean, are these women? Do they not have mental faculty? Do they not do they not make their decisions? Like, what is this?
That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't make any sense. It's not. I don't know. By the way,
Paul, imagine being arrested. Imagine people showing up to your house, kicking down your fucking door, and saying you're being arrested for human trafficking. And they say we have a bunch of women that you human trafficked. And then the next day, those women come out and say that didn't happen.
Yeah,
like they're innocent, but they're still prosecuting you. How does that even work?
Well, see, what I don't understand though, isn't what the Tates do all digitally? Like, isn't it all online too? So can you really traffic like as a webcam girl? I don't get that.
Well, I think you can. I mean, you can bring girls to your country. I think the problem is that you know what, man? I have no fucking clue.
What is this, Law and Order?
Yeah. What is this, SVU?
Yeah, by the way, we do got Gadget.
Gadget, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Hey, boys. Thanks for having me. How are we?
Doing Good. Well, Gadget. I just played a clip of one of the Tate quote-unquote victims saying she's not a victim.
Yes. It's she deserves the Oscar for the performance. I think it was I don't know. It's pretty funny. It's a good laugh. So just on that, I'm glad you brought that up because it's doing the rounds a bit, that clip. So do you boys remember some similar videos about a year ago when Tate was arrested and when he's in jail? I think a few of his girls were putting out videos saying they're saying I'm a victim, I'm not a victim, they're nice guys and all this.
Sure, yeah.
Cool. So just to give you an idea of how staged these videos are, I've got a transcript in front of me that I can quickly read out. So those videos last year, Andrew was actually court recorded on the jail phone calls. He didn't understand that jail phone calls are all recorded. And he was instructing his cousin Luke, who works with him, to get those girls to make those videos last year. And it's pretty well word for word what this girl said yesterday there. So I've got this transcript here. This is all verified. It hasn't been disputed as genuine from Tate's lawyers in court or anything like that. So we've got Andrew says, she only made one, am I right? Luke says yes. Andrew says, yeah, I'll get a new clip. Tell her to say, I learned, I saw his case. I learned, and they just randomly picked me from his friends. Say the same thing as Lasmina, and one of the girls that made the videos. She's not a victim, but she can say the same things. Luke, yeah. Andrew says, also ask Tash if she'll do one. Luke, the other girls? Andrew, yeah, Tash is too. And then
okay, but let me ask you something, because this is where I think it starts to get lost for me. Right? Why
sure.
Is it illegal? Is it bad? I mean, if the girls are saying he's
yes, it's legal. Yeah, it's illegal. So Andrew's charged for what you could say witness tampering, and he also was caught on the jail phone calls trying to bribe politicians as well. He's not the smartest.
But is it not? Is it a problem? Like, if these girls are saying that they weren't victims, why would they do that against their will?
Because these two girls are still under Andrew's control. So,
but what about all the other ones? I mean, there are multiple girls coming out.
Well, when you say what about all the other ones, that is a good question, because so far between the cases in Romania and the UK, there is 49 women and children, 2 minors, and we've had the 2 girls last year and this one now. So we've had 3 out of 49 that have come out and said that they're not victims and so on. And out of the first case, that the 2 came from last time, so there's 7 victims in that first case. 5 out of those 7 are testifying against the Tates, saying they are victims. 4 out of those 7 are what they call injured parties, which means the system in Romania, the way it works is if they go through the trial and the evidence finds that the Tates are guilty, then they can go for like civil claims then as well.
But if the girls,
so when you say what about all the other girls, we're literally talking dozens and dozens of women that are saying the Tates
what I don't understand,
raped and trafficked them.
Hold on. So Gadget, what I don't understand is if these are adults and they have their mental faculties, how can they be controlled and coerced? Like, I mean, how do you determine that from the Romanian law perspective?
So that's okay. That's another thing too, and this is where there's a lot of bad information. I mean, Tate and his team, they're very good at propaganda. Oh, if I can give them a compliment, they're good at that. So as far as the human trafficking law, and a lot of confusion has come from what the Tates are charged with, which is what they call the lover boy method of human trafficking. And what that means is creating a false relationship so they could spend months grooming and saying they're going to be this girl's girlfriend or even wife, then transporting them to the country under this false relationship, and then forcing them into pornography. And that's what the Tates are accused of. So,
but is it really forcing?
Yeah,
yes,
see,
correct.
Well,
yes.
How are they forcing though? Are they putting a gun?
Why don't the girls say no?
Yeah, sure. So, and this is again a lot of what I'm saying here. This is what Tate is on video admitting and teaching. So this is a lot of this. Some of it
Tate
is
also known to be very hyperbolic. I mean, if you took out of context a million things that I've said, it would be fucking egregious.
Yeah. So again, I think you need to listen to this part carefully. You missed this. So this is from Tate's courses. He would teach in paid courses, teach other men how to traffic women into pornography. So this is not just from his videos necessarily. This is from his paid courses that he would teach other men how to do this.
Hold on. You said he taught how to traffic. Surely he didn't use that verbiage. So like, what was the verbiage that he used that you are seeing as trafficked?
Also, what's the difference between coercion and just convincing someone to do something?
Well, there's a few things. So there's a few things. Firstly, there's very clear evidence that it wasn't real relationships.
So yeah, on CobraTape.com, I have my PhD program, and that is PhD is a pimp and hose degree that I'm
Clever.
And
Clever.
that teaches basically how I got girls, how I met girls, how I got girls to like me, how I got girls to fall in love with me to work on webcam for me. Because that's what I did. That was my MO, was find girls, make them love me, and make them work for me. And that's how I got rich.
So he was trying this with multiple women at a time. He was talking in his war room group chats that are in evidence and have been leaked as well with all his war room cult buddies, strategizing how they're going to get these women, get them to fall in love with them, isolate them from their friends and family, get them reliant on them, and then get them on OnlyFans. And as far as force, there is violence used, threats of violence used. This is fact. It's pulled in the text messages pulled from their phones. Tristan is, for example, ordering Georgiana and Luana to hit one of the women and throw them out because they didn't want to make pornography. And then the
but
Georgiana comes.
I don't see how any of this is like actually substantial. I really don't, because what you're really dealing with is, like, let's say worst case scenario, Tate said, and by the way, I mean, right, some of these girls are literally have his children, and they have a great relationship with them and their children, number one. But number two, I mean, let's take worst case scenario. He convinced girls to come over or whatever, and they do porn, or they do OnlyFans, or they do cam websites, whatever it is. How is that, by definition, human trafficking? They aren't there against their will.
Yeah, is
They were
there any
convinced.
personal responsibility for these women?
Yeah.
So human trafficking doesn't necessarily need to have a woman like chained to a radiator or like locked in a dungeon necessarily. So a lot of it is done with coercion and recruitments through like deceptive means. That's how most of these kind of cases are done. And the women couldn't leave. So but that's another thing too, is they weren't just free to leave. That's just not correct.
But they're saying they were.
No, three out of 50 are.
It seems like a lot more than 3. I've seen a lot more than 3.
Wrong. No, you haven't. You haven't.
Dude's trying to deny your reality.
Yeah.
No,
you
just have. They're just.
There's been countless of them.
There was Yasmina, Beatrice, this girl. Vivian made a video a while back, and she actually might make. There might be 4 when she might make one soon. I'd predict that because she's still involved with the Tates as well.
And you're saying these women are just lying?
No, they don't believe they're victims, which is quite common with trafficking and kidnapping victims as well.
Of course they're not victims because they're free, right?
No, they're not.
By the way, we got Will Pujols on the panel.
Oh, Will. Oh, God.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What up, Will?
So I see you got one of the Twitter detectives in here. What's
so
your
he's
line of work, sir?
Hang on a second.
Are you an attorney?
Hang on a second. So I just want to frame this. So Gadget's up here. He's telling us that these women were essentially coerced into being over there and then held against their will. They were held against their will. Is there any validity from your perspective? From my understanding, you're a pro Tate guy. Is there any validity to that statement?
Well, Donaldson, let's think of Hugh Hefner. Anybody that went over to Hugh Hefner's house, what did they think they were going to get into? You know,
good point.
Andrew Tate was a Hugh Hefner. Anybody that followed Andrew Tate, saw his social media, knew who he was. These women certainly knew who he was. His social media presence was big, and in all of his photos and his videos, is women, jewelry, cars, yachts. What is this? What are they not supposed to know? That he was in the business. Of course.
So he was doing fake. He was getting him into fake relationships, and he's admitted this, and it's quite detailed.
Hugh Hefner was getting into fake relationships. Did you know that Hugh Hefner also had a bunch of girlfriends that were in the business, and they already knew? Like, come on, man.
It's irrelevant. It's not really relevant at all.
No, that's not. It is relevant because they already knew the Tates. They knew who they were going to get with. They knew they were getting with Hugh Hefner.
No, they didn't.
Games.
They didn't know that. They didn't know the Tates. They didn't.
Yeah, they didn't know the Tates. They didn't see them on social media. They didn't see them on YouTube. Matter of fact, in the evidence, one of the girls is talking about one of the YouTube videos that she saw him in. She was like, "Are you really like this?" And you know what he said? "This is fucking show business. It's not real." So
yeah, but he was lying.
Are you going to
So
tell me that these women didn't know who
that's
Andrew Tate
coercion.
was?
That's coercion, Will. That's a lie.
That's
She was
coercion. That's
referring
not
to
a
his
lie.
pimping hose degree videos. You know
No,
that.
no,
Don't
no,
lie.
no. Come on, man. You're talking about courses. Courses. Come on, man. Everybody sells courses, and for the most part, most courses are
Not
all
how to
bullshit.
sex traffic.
No. This is bullshit, man. You're literally
Why did
telling
he
me that
call it
these
the
women
pimping
didn't know they
hose
were going to get
degree?
with Hugh Hefner. You're telling
Why
me
did he
these
call
women
it the
didn't know
pimping
they were
hose
getting with Hugh
degree?
Hefner. This is crazy. This
Why
is
did he call it the
unbelievable.
pimping hose degree, Will?
We're not
Why?
talking about no courses. You're talking about something very
It's in
irrelevant.
evidence. It's
No,
not irrelevant.
it doesn't
He's
matter.
Gadget's
literally,
just kind of a
he's,
cock block, to be honest. Is anybody else getting that vibe?
Yeah, Gadget doesn't want anyone to have any pussy.
do you guys,
That's all
okay,
it is.
let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. I don't know if you guys have any daughters at all. What about if you had a 15-year-old daughter and she was strangled unconscious and raped in the anus and orally? Because
Why didn't she go to the police,
that's what we're
sir?
talking. That's what we're talking about here. That's
Sir,
the
why didn't
charges
you go
here.
to the
Wouldn't happen
police
to
when
my
this
daughter.
happened?
My daughter wouldn't be a bitch. So, next question.
Sir, why didn't this woman go to the police, or this girl go to the police, or her parents go to the police when this happened? When exactly
She's
did
like,
this
she's a
happen?
15. She's a 15-year-old girl.
Sorry, sir. When exactly did this happen?
2020.
In 2020, and we're just now finding out about it 2 years after the Tates were
Yes,
first indicted. Well, why were we finding about it now?
because the charges weren't ready then.
Oh, sure, pal. So
But the
you're gonna
parents
tell me
and
that
the
this
parents
happened in
weren't ready either.
2020? These guys have been being investigated for over 2 years, and we're just now finding out about this. We don't.
No,
You don't even know what. You don't
no.
even know the victim's name. You don't even know who she is. You don't even know she exists.
Will, okay, put it this way. So you think we're just finding out about this now? Look through my timeline or Crayon's timeline. We've been posted. It's been a known fact that these guys are being done for charges involving minors since June 2023, and we've been posting about it. This is not new. This isn't because
Sir,
Tate talked about the Jews.
These are accusations, are they not? They're not
No,
charges. They
sorry,
haven't been indicted on these charges that you're talking about.
they are charged by Romanian law. They are charged. So once,
No, they're not, sir.
yes, they
That's
are.
called an accusation, sir. Are you an attorney?
No,
Are you an attorney?
are you?
I actually went to school for law. Did you go to school for law?
How'd you go? How'd that go for you?
It went well. It went well, and I actually filed some suits myself. I actually won at court a few times, and I'm pretty good in the legal field. How about you?
Well, you were kind of involved with a kid being murdered, so there is that.
Yeah, I mean, I was never charged in any of that, so it doesn't even matter. Like
But you
you
fled
can
the
say
scene.
whatever you want, sir. I'm not a felon. I'm actually a successful human being, and at the
Okay.
end of the day, it seems like you're sitting here talking about something that you have no knowledge of. You don't know the courts. You don't know the law. You don't know how the justice system works. You're talking about charges that these guys haven't even been indicted for. These are accusations. Now, let me ask you a question. How do you feel about the another woman coming out today saying that all these women that are called
Will,
victims were at court and that they're
you're
not
behind the
victims?
conversation, Will. You're behind the conversation. I feel the same the way as when Yasmina and Beatrice came out when Tate instructed them from jail because the moron doesn't know
He
that
instructed
jail
them.
phone
He
calls are
instructed
recorded.
them from jail, so he's inside of a jail cell and he's telling them what to do. Shouldn't they feel
Yes,
safe to come out and say
Will.
whatever they want if he was in a jail cell?
Yeah, it's called a phone. It's called a phone. Will, you don't even know anything about what's happening. Yes.
Gadget. I'm the guy that got the Tates out of jail in the first place. If it
Oh,
wasn't for me, they would still be in
bullshit.
jail. What are you
Sure you
talking
did.
about? Where did you
Sure you
come
did,
from?
Will.
Are you from Australia? What are you even doing meddling in this stuff? Long COVID awareness. What the fuck is long COVID? Is that what you have on your
Will,
profile picture?
Yeah, what is that?
This trial's in Romania. You're in the US. What are you talking about? What's it got to
Well,
do
what do
with
you mean?
you?
What am I talking about? I'm the guy that orchestrated the TateProtest.com. I helped Andrew Tate get out of jail, and
How'd that go?
I'm
How'd that
good friends
protest
with
go?
Andrew Tate. I know more about
When
this case than you, sir.
when's the protest happening, Will? When's that protest happening?
It never happened. You want to know why? Because the
Because
Romanian
it was
court let
stupid.
him out of jail.
Hang on a second. Let's pause for a second. I got a question for you, Gadget. So you're saying
Yeah,
that
sure.
Andrew Tate had no idea that phones were being recorded in jail?
Yeah, of course. He's a moron. He admitted to crimes like countless times.
But hold on. This guy who's like methodically coercing
seriously?
women He hasn't thought about that.
And he's always talking about how, they're always listening to his conversations, that he's aware that they monitor his phone communication, that they're always up his ass. They're probably watching him at all times. You don't think that he figured that they were going to record his conversations in jail?
I know he didn't. Like, it's literally, it's fact. He was caught, recorded. It's all.
How do you know that?
He's reading his mind.
Well, okay. Well, tell me this then. Tell me this then. Why hasn't Tate's lawyer argued that these are fabricated transcripts? Then
I don't think, even if they weren't fabricated, I don't understand how anything he said would be illegal.
Bribing a politician, you think is not illegal? Is that what you're telling me right now?
What politician did he bribe? He never bribed a politician. This is fucking crazy.
No, he tried and failed. Okay, anyone listening, look this up and see if Will has any idea what he's talking about. He's charged with influencing statements.
Sir, did he get charged with bribing a politician? Did he get charged with this?
Yes.
He got charged with it? Really? That's one of the charges?
Yes, you're not understanding.
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're not.
What are his charges?
What's going on in Romania? You're sitting here talking about women and acting like they didn't know that they were going to get with Hugh Hefner, like they didn't know that Andrew Tate was in the webcam business. When you're talking about all these videos
Will's just gonna yap.
Are you fucking serious?
Will's just gonna yap.
Well, I think he is raising some good questions. I mean,
yeah, he's not yapping.
But literally, it's fact. Anyone listening can look this up. Andrew Tate charges for witness tampering and influencing statements.
Gadget, real quick. Behavioral science Royper sent an 8, and he said Gadget's voice is gay. Opinion disregarded. I mean, Will, what do you think about that?
Well, that's just your opinion, man.
Okay. I want to know what the fuck long COVID is. What the fuck is long COVID? Well, I thought COVID was over with.
We can get into that, but I'm curious. So you said that he's charged with, witness tampering?
Correct, yeah. And influencing statements is what it's called in Romania, the charge.
Influencing statements. Now, I mean, could you not, let's say, now I don't know how this works in Romania, so I'm kind of out of my depth here, but if I was in the United States and I wanted a witness to come forward for me, to defend me, that's legal. You can have people.
No. Okay. So what this is there's witnesses that are in the case which a defendant isn't allowed to be in contact with, and Tate was on the phone trying to getting his people to pressure them to drop their statements, and so he's got an extra charge for that because he was caught on the phone doing that.
Was Tate talking directly to these people that he wasn't supposed to talk to?
No, he was talking to.
So that's fine. So that's totally legal.
No, it's not. He was instructing other people to get them to do it. He was instructing Luke to do it. So it's a crime. It's a crime. It is. You can disagree that it should be a crime, but it's a crime.
Sir, you're not an attorney. You just said that he was bribing politicians, but there's no charges for that. What are you talking about?
Dalton, this is kind of like when you and I spoke on the phone. Like, it just seems like there's a lot of talk and noise around this, but there's nothing that really sticks.
Substantial. No, I agree.
It's just like bullshit.
Especially when you have the girls coming out and defending him. I mean, if the girls that are quote unquote defendants are coming out and saying, well, we don't want to be defendants. This guy didn't do anything to us. We like the guy. He never treated us badly. Then what the fuck is the point of the case? It sounds to me like a witch hunt.
Well, it's a money grab, guys. The Tates have a lot of money, and obviously Romania wants it. They want their cars. They want their jewelry. Guys, I haven't even mentioned the war room and the real world. The real world itself makes them like $10 million a month. $10 million a month, right? And you got asshats like Gadget saying that it's a fucking Ponzi scheme. Hey, let me ask you something, Gadget. Have they been charged with financial crimes like a Ponzi scheme? You fucking asshat.
They're being charged with money laundering, if that's what you're asking.
No, they aren't being charged with money laundering. The judge just said that there wasn't sufficient evidence for that to even be brought to the table. What the fuck are you talking about? This guy's a fucking clown. What the fuck is long COVID? That's what I really want to know.
Yeah, we can talk about that in another space. I'm not taking that bait, but
I'm just concerned because anybody talking about long COVID in fucking 2024 is a fucking asshat. You're the fucking problem with this world. You know that, Gadget?
Am I?
Yeah, you're the fucking problem, man. Like, you're still looking for this bogus ass charge. You know damn well they didn't get charged for bribing a politician because that shit never happened. How the fuck did they bribe a politician from inside of a fucking jail cell in Romania? You're a fucking liar.
Gadget,
it's called it's again the phone. There's a phone. There's a thing called a telephone that exists. Will, you seem to be really struggling with this?
Yeah, Gadget. They're calling the fucking White House from their fucking Romanian fucking cell phone. Get the fuck out of here with this shit.
Gadget,
we don't believe you.
Gadget, would you say that you politically disagree with Andrew Tate?
I don't know. I don't care about his politics. It's just it's not really
you do. He's a Trump supporter, and you don't like it. You fucking believe in long COVID like a
wait. Hang on a second. I mean, I think that. I mean, just be honest about it. If you do, that's fine. But I think it does like raise a question as to why you're so into this whole thing.
No, it doesn't. So this is where a lot of the logic really falls down, is because people look at what he's saying and then think, oh, gee, so it must be all bullshit allegations, without actually looking at the very easily searchable evidence and what he's actually charged with.
Yeah, but you never even provided any of that for us. You just said,
well, I have.
I don't see it.
Well, I just
put the influencing statements up in the nest. If you can see that, there's one.
Okay, there's one. Let me see.
Yeah,
check this out.
Yeah, I want to see the bribery one that he's lying about.
Influencing statements as provided for in Article 272, paragraph 1, blah, 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 for which the extension of the criminal proceedings was ordered by order of 22 February 2023, consisting in the fact that during the period of imprisonment, namely the 29th of December 2022 to February 2023, the defendant Andrew Tate, assisted by the witness blank redacted through other persons, including a person known as Luke, tried to influence the injured person's redacted by means of coercion and other acts of a clearly intimidating nature. What is intimidating? What does that mean?
Well, but also this is just an accusation. This isn't a charge.
Exactly. That's true. This is just an accusation.
Yeah.
And if I'm right, I think Luke's been in Dubai this whole time, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, I know that you could clearly influence somebody.
He's hiding.
Well, hang on a second. Paul brings up a good point. You said that he was charged, but these are just accusations.
Yeah. So these have been basically in Romanian law, and this is what I've been explained by Romanians that understand their law system. It's a bit weird. It's confusing, but once they're arrested and detained, they're officially charged. That's what it means. So before the indictment, for what we would understand it, is once the indictment comes and all that, then they're charged. But it's different in Romania. So, but let's just say they're going to be charged to make it not confusing.
Gadget. If these guys,
I can't say they're going to be charged because that's not necessarily accurate in our legal
being investigated. Then sure.
Okay, so these are accusations.
Yeah,
so they are being accused of intimidation. They are being accused of human trafficking. They are being accused of what else do we have?
No. They're charged with.
It's alleged.
Okay,
it's alleged.
Well, even this says that they're being investigated.
Just to be clear for those that are listening, in June last year, the first case was indicted. So that's all done and locked in. So there's involving 7 victims, so for charges of human trafficking, rape, forming an organised criminal group, and for Tristan.
It doesn't say charged. It says investigated for.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, somebody can investigate you for that, Gadget. I mean, does that make you guilty?
I could be investigating you for that right now.
I already am.
Yeah. So again, I don't think you guys are listening too well or very good at listening.
No, I think you're just.
I am. You're saying the word charged, but the word clearly says investigated.
Okay. So do you guys understand that there's 2 separate investigations happening in Romania, and one has been indicted? So you understand that he has been charged with human trafficking. You know this, correct?
Well, they've been indicted.
Okay, yeah. So he's charged with human trafficking and awaiting trial.
And indictment isn't charged.
They're not fucking charged. They are awaiting trial. Once
What?
they go to
Yes, he's
trial,
charged with human
it'll be
trafficking. Yes, he
determined.
is.
It'll
Yes,
be
it is. He's
determined.
charged.
Okay, guys. So
charged.
let me clear this up. All right. So
Okay,
he's been
please.
charged, but he hasn't been convicted, right? Because
Correct.
Correct.
obviously,
Yeah, we agree. We agree on something, Will.
yes. So aside from that, guys, let's just cut the bullshit. Let's ask Gadget the best question ever, right? So there's supposedly 49 victims out there. Gadget, how many of these victims have you actually seen come forward to the media or a TikTok video or anything saying that the Tate brothers human trafficked them? How many have you seen thus far?
Okay. So the obvious, just brain dead obvious answer to this is, how many of Jeffrey Epstein's victims in the lead up to his trial did you see come out to the media?
A bunch of them. A bunch of
a
them.
lot
No,
of
you
them
didn't.
did.
We know who
No, you didn't.
these people
You
are.
didn't.
We know all these people.
I said in the lead up to the trial, not all these years later.
Yes. Even before the trial, we knew who Epstein's victims were. Like we knew them. They came forward to the TV. Look, you're gonna tell me out of 49 women, not one of them is gonna create a TikTok video. Not one of them is going to the media and become a champion hero for the media. You know, tell the world who Andrew Tate
Of course,
is.
yeah, I'm going to tell you that because it's not safe. It's not safe for them
It's
to.
not safe. It's
Yes.
not safe. Isn't Andrew Tate in Romania in custody, literally? Like he's in house arrest? How is it not safe for them?
Because he has fans like Will Pujols who have a screw loose, and he has millions of them.
Really? Okay, so
Yes.
yo, Gadget, you're a fucking asshat, man. Like you're this is ridiculous. You're gonna tell me that this woman wouldn't be protected, she wouldn't have any type of security, the media wouldn't be protecting her, championing her. Matter of fact, she would be paraded around. Hot Tua girl wouldn't have anything on an Andrew Tate fucking victim right now.
Okay,
like,
so example of this. Let me give you an example of.
How
Okay,
is it that the only victims that have come
Will.
forward
All right, Will.
only say they're not victims?
All right. Let me talk. Let's talk. Let's give an example, and you're well aware of this example, Will. So there was a victim based in the US. She was doxxed by Tate's lawyer in the US, and was
talking about the whore, the one that cheated on her military boyfriend to go get
okay. If we're not going to be
6 other people who she accused of human trafficking, and one of them off themselves. Yeah, that's real good.
And that is why these women can't come out publicly because there's millions of clout. No,
because she had a person off himself for being accused of human trafficking, bro. Yeah, that's why people don't come out, dude. That's a terrible rebuttal.
You guys really love pedophiles, don't you? You love pedophiles.
You know what we don't like?
Keith Fox is his name.
You know what, Gadget? I'm going to go out on a limb and say you're probably a pedophile. You kind of.
Everyone's a pedophile, aren't they, Will?
No,
Everyone's a
No,
pedophile.
you do. It's just true. I think if we conducted a poll, I know that's not, like legal discourse or anything, but I bet if we conducted a poll right now, people would say you're a pedophile just on PFP physiognomy and the way you talk and the way that you're just like trying to cock block the Tates or anybody that's trying to get pussy. Like
cock blocking from who? Children.
I think you're a pedophile, and I think you're a cocksucker. You haven't been convicted, but you're being investigated right now. So.
Are you a pedophile, Gadget?
Do you guys like child porn? Because that's what Tate is. Tate literally 100% verified fact made child porn with underage girls.
Where?
Let me ask you this, buddy. Okay. You say that nothing about this is politically motivated for you.
No.
But I think it is.
And I'll
tell you why. I mean, I can elaborate on that.
Sure. Go on. Why?
Well, you clearly have. So you've gone. You did a YouTube video a while back about Nick Fuentes' rally.
Oh yeah, it was funny. Yeah,
and all this other stuff, right?
Yeah.
Do you like Nick Fuentes?
No, of course not.
Okay.
Why?
Do you disagree with him?
Because he's a Nazi. Because he's a Nazi. Nazis suck. Why would I like a Nazi?
Do you disagree with him politically?
Do I do it? Yeah. Well, I mean, if obviously, yeah.
Okay. And I believe Andrew Tate and Nick have relatively similar views on many things. Could we agree on that? Regardless about what you think, about them personally?
Some things, I don't know. I'd probably.
Okay. I believe that you are a libtard and you're pressed and you want to do everything in your power to try to spread slanderous accusations about Andrew Tate in an attempt to discredit him.
And he's a pedophile.
I believe that's what's going on here. And the fact that you can't be honest with me makes me just want to say goodbye, because listen, I can be honest about it all day long. I'll do everything I can to get Hillary Clinton arrested. I'll say that she hacked up alien guts in that one video of her, drinking that cup of water and shooting the little green orbs into the thing. I'll say whatever because I fucking hate her and she should be in prison.
Why do you think I'm not? Why do you think I'm not being honest? And explain why. Based on what?
Because I think that you have biases. I don't think you're looking at this in a fair way. Now, I don't know. Am I looking at it in a fair way? Quite honest, I'm here. I'm getting educated by all of you in this conversation. But, maybe you could say, well, Will Poulios has a bias because he likes Tate. He's going to stand by Tate. He's friends with Tate. That makes sense to me. Okay. And I don't think that Will would say that that's not the case. I think that he would probably agree with that statement. You stand by the people that you support. And if you're not willing to be honest about that, then what the fuck is the point? Just be honest. You don't like the guy.
I'm being honest. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that I don't like the guy, but I don't give a shit about his politics.
Gadget,
It's got nothing to do with it.
How do you feel about Tate's COVID stance?
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit
the whole time.
I don't give a shit about his COVID stance. Why would I? If I was going to
hurt you fucking long COVID awareness fucker.
I know.
You're hurt because Andrew Tate
I know.
didn't want to
Will's
wear a mask. Andrew Tate said that COVID is a fucking
yeah. Will's theory is that I just care about Tate because of his COVID stances, which is just moronic. Because
you don't.
like that's a small.
But is it moronic? Hold on. Is it moronic? Your whole identity is COVID. Literally, look.
It's clearly not.
Yeah, it clearly is. It's in your PFP.
Go to his TikTok channel. Go to his TikTok channel, and you'll see what the fuck he's about. He's about all that fucking long COVID bullshit.
Yeah,
what the fuck is long COVID?
Some people that have conditions basically have it in their profile. It's not anything abnormal. But if I was going to do all the posts I have about Tate because of his COVID stance, what he says about COVID is a small part of what he talks about. Why would I choose Tate? There's people that all they do is COVID stuff or anti-vax or whatever. It doesn't make sense.
It's because Tate is actually influential.
All right. I just did a search of this guy's timeline. He didn't really start even talking about Tate till you remember when Tristan Tate came out. Am I echoing?
No, you're fine.
When he came out, when Tristan came out, what?
Yeah, Tristan came out. I'm like echoing on my end. This gay.
Are you under coercion right now?
Yeah. So Tristan Tate, you remember when he came out as like the Jews don't control everything, and even if they did, and then you had like Sneeko in the replies.
When was this?
That was like on July 3rd, and you started that little petition on July 17th, and before that, you didn't really give a fuck, and that became your whole thing. And all you do is talk about Nazis and white supremacies and Jews. You're a fucking.
All I talk about. I barely ever talk about Nazis, man.
Bro, look at your fucking timeline.
You look at my timeline. Pull up the receipts, man.
Hold on. I do got a question. I mean, Dalton, I don't know if this is the time or place, but Havoc's requesting. He is gay. Do you think he could get a read on this Gadget guy? I think he could.
Who?
Havoc. You know Havoc, the otter.
Okay. I mean, I don't even know how many tweets you have about Nazis, but you do have quite a few.
Yeah, I don't lie.
Yeah, but Havoc, real quick, is this Gadget gay or not?
Hey guys, Havoc here, just checking in.
Yeah, this is a gay guy. Gadget is Gadget gay?
Havoc, how's your gaydar? What's your gaydar saying?
Nah, I don't think Gadget's gay.
He's definitely gay. Come on.
Yeah, I mean,
there's anything wrong with that.
You know, he's figuring things out.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
He's figuring things out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, wrong.
All right.
Yeah, I think a lot of this Gadget is politically motivated, and the fact that you won't admit it is very frustrating, and I think dishonest.
So, do you think that being against sex trafficking and pedophilia and child porn is political? Is that what you're saying?
Well, okay. I mean, what's your read on like John Podesta?
Who's that? I don't know who that
You don't
is.
even know who that is.
No.
So you're so worried about child sex trafficking and pedophiles. You don't know who John Podesta is.
Doesn't know anything
I
about.
don't know every pedophile. I'm sure there's plenty of pedophiles I don't know.
I know, but
Harvey Weinstein.
If he's a pedophile, I don't know who this is.
Pedophile sex trafficking ring in the United States that we're talking about. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems very political for you, which I think is clouding your judgment. I think that anyone looking at this, first of all, right, innocent until proven guilty. Do you believe in that?
Yes, in the court of law, of course. I'm allowed to have an opinion, but in the court of law, they absolutely should have a fair trial.
So if it comes out tomorrow and they're cleared on all charges, you'll drop it? You're good?
It depends. It depends. I'd be very shocked if that happens based on the evidence we have so far.
Gadget. How
And
much
also-
of this
and
evidence
also
is
it's important-
actual like visual or like tangible evidence that we can see that you can show the crowd that isn't like text messages or anything like that? Any bruises, any like great kits or anything like that? Any visual stuff that we can see?
He
Yeah,
advertised
geez. Okay, let me put some things on the list. Hang on.
Yeah, go ahead. Stuff, like some physical evidence, like a girl like being bruised or something
I can give you video confessions, so I got plenty of that.
No, you're talking about these YouTube videos from like 10 years ago? Come on, bro. We're all Americans here. We're
All right, so in the next, come up in a sec if you can see it. So this is this is the minor that Tate is going to be charged with trafficking. And she was a minor in 2014. So Tate has been with her since she was 15 at the oldest, if not 14. There was a video that was very faint, very
Gadget, I got a
infamous.
question for you.
Yeah.
I just wonder, honestly, like kind of just looking at your timeline and when you started talking about issues, it kind of seems like you're a Ukrainian agent. It does.
Okay.
It does. And
Right,
and the reason
I
why is
mean,
because,
sure.
Andrew has very public, very well-known Russian connections, especially with his casinos.
But I mean, what
And
based on my
so
timeline makes you think that, not based on what Andrew said?
there was a lot of funding approved for Ukraine just before you started going after Andrew. You haven't been going after him that long. This case has been pending for like 2 years, and it's very recent that you've been going after him. And honestly, like it's very nonsensical. You post like someone who does this full time for a job. You have like I don't even know how many posts you have, hundreds going after Andrew. I mean, you treat this like your job, and you're very focused too. You don't even have a diversity of topics or things that you go after. Honestly, I feel like your long COVID profile picture is just a distraction from the fact that you're a paid Ukrainian asset. It's very obvious.
Okay, I mean, cool. I'm sure it's obvious. I mean, geez,
Are you Jewish?
that's something. That's some theory you got there.
Yeah,
No, he's a Nazi.
What's your ethnicity, Gadget?
I'm bloody true blue Australian, mate.
You're not Jewish?
No, I don't know. No. But I know everyone that disagrees with you is a Jew. I know. But no, I'm not Jewish.
Someone in the chat said that you were Jewish.
Like ethnically and religiously?
Gadget, does Israel have the right to defend itself?
Okay, I do not think Israel has the right to bomb Palestinian children, if that's what you're asking
He's a
me.
lefty. He's a liberal. I figured that. He's a typical liberal. Okay. All right, Gadget. Well, I'll be honest. If you're not going to be clear with, if you're not going to be upfront with me about this being I think it is politically motivated. I don't think you give a shit about
you can want it to be that all you want, but that's cool. It's been fun regardless.
That's the vibe I get from this. Okay. And it's because of your posts.
You just want it to be true so bad, don't you?
No, I brought you on. I've heard both sides. I haven't really talked. I've allowed you guys to hash it out. I've spoken to you. I've asked you questions, fair questions. I really wasn't fucking with you up until the Jewish question. So it's not, I haven't been coming at you. Now, I will say, I've looked at your timeline. I've seen a lot of this quote unquote evidence. I've read some of this stuff. To me, it looks like a lot of accusations. It doesn't look like anything has been confirmed. There's a lot of women saying that he didn't do anything wrong. And that to me speaks in his favor. And it just doesn't make any sense. I think that this is very clearly politically motivated for you. I think you vehemently disagree with him about COVID. You probably vehemently disagree with his association with Nick Fuentes and others on the right.
That associated with Nick Fuentes? Does he have that much to do with him? I don't think he does.
I mean, they communicate kind of back and forth.
Okay, that's a pretty strong reach, mate.
Well, you know what I mean. You lumped them in together in a YouTube video. You cover them, right?
That video had nothing to do with Tate. It was a separate thing. I didn't see a connection between Fuentes and Tate.
I just think that that's a good example of you not agreeing with a lot of people closer to Tate's side of things.
Right. And that video in Fuentes was mostly just laughing at the shit show when he got kicked out of that event. I thought it was funny. It was just mostly having a laugh.
Because you're a liberal, right?
Do you think there's not humor in like what happened and Sneeko being Superman punched by security? I mean, I'm glad he's okay, but that is some comedy. You got to agree.
Well, because you got a cock in your mouth, Gadget.
I was there. Listen, I was there.
Good one, mate. Good one.
And that was kind of funny. But, at the end of the day, it was a successful event from my point of view, even with all the roadblocks and all the bullshit that was thrown our way.
I didn't find it that funny.
I'm sorry. I took it. That's gone too far.
I mean, it was fucking.
But yeah, I don't know. Like it's
but you are a liberal. You just are.
I'm not that political. Like look at my posts. There's not much political stuff.
Yeah, I disagree with Andrew.
So
you're obsessive over.
And at the end of the day, if anyone listening looks up the evidence and the chat logs that are pulled from their phones, if you think that they're not sex traffickers, I mean, it's. What you're doing is you're looking at what Tate's saying and liking what he's saying, and then just disregarding and just got your blinkers on, so you don't want to look at the evidence that's right in front of you.
Andrew Tate is Hugh Hefner, is essentially what's happening.
If I sang you a song, can you tell me? He's
closer to Jeffrey Epstein. He's closer to Jeffrey Epstein, Keith Raniere.
He's not a Jeffrey Epstein. This is just insane.
He's worse.
Worse. Oh, he's definitely a Jew. Yeah. He just said he's worse than Jeffrey Epstein.
You think Andrew Tate is worse than Jeffrey Epstein? You got to drop John.
As far as amount of victims, it's going to far exceed him. But anyway, this has been fun.
All right, bye guys.
All right.
Thank you, Will. Thanks for coming on here, buddy. We'll talk.
Thanks,
to you.
Will. Thanks, Gadget.
Cheers, boys. Let's do this again sometime, Will.
It sounded like a gay thing.
Yeah. Thank you, John. Thank you, Will. You guys have a great rest of your evening. Oh man. Okay, we got to get out of here, huh? It's time.
Yeah. What'd you think? Yeah. I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. The guy's definitely politically motivated.
Yeah, man, this hyper fixation and obviously the justice system is targeting Tate. They don't like what he says. They don't like what he does. They want him silenced.
They're trying to tax that ass.
Yeah, and they'll come at anybody for anything. I mean, that's just how it goes. They'll plant shit. They'll make shit up. They'll wrap you into endless legal battles to waste your money. And it's bullshit. And I haven't seen anything about Tate that really, it's not real evidence.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like, I'm open to it. If there's something good and convincing, sure.
I'm not. And I'll tell you why. If there were 30 women tomorrow coming out and saying that Andrew Tate abused them, I would say, probably not.
That's hearsay. I'm saying convincing evidence. Hearsay is not convincing. I'm saying, there's recordings and he's committing these crimes by the law,
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think Tate's innocent.
I do too.
Talking to Gadget only solidified that opinion that I have.
100%. This guy's it's like a total witch hunt on him.
Yeah. Psycho shit. I mean, you're talking about this guy's a fucking A-log. This guy doesn't care about anything else but Andrew Tate. It's his entire timeline.
Obsessed.
Yeah. No, exactly. All right, everyone. I think that's going to do it for us tonight, but we do appreciate you being here.